making a video. Yes, what the hell. Yeah, I'm still trying to do better, bigger and better. I think I'm going to block comments for a while, just because they're just so annoying. You know, because people are always off the subject. You know, some asshole left a comment accusing me of having a moral intuition. And I mean, I've been over this so many times, and it's just so offensive to say that my values are from some sort of intuition. I was born a selfish motherfucker, and all my intuition said was, if something bad has to happen, it better happen to them. And that was the extent of my moral intuition. This is just ludicrous. I learned about reality and acquired an understanding. Some of it through a kind of humiliating experience to realize I was such a selfish piece of shit. It was anti-intuitive, the instruction. So fuck you and this bullshit accusation that I'm arguing from some moral intuition. I'm arguing from the simple premise that I have experienced conscious sensation. I know that it can be torturous, and I know through logic that if it's happening to somebody else, the torture, it's just as real as mine and just as bad an event. And I know that, not by intuition, but by acquiring knowledge of the mechanics of reality. So fuck you, and fuck forcing me to have to correct you fuckers. If you're just going to keep lying in my comments, I'm just not going to let comments. Okay, you have to at least argue from rational, fair premises based on what I have said, not your fucking lies. So anyway, we'll see how long it lasts. Hey, look, if you have some real comment to make, PM me, and I'll respond to the comments. But I'm not going to let you just post your crap and oblige me, force me to correct you, to correct your lies, and then to allow you to distract conversations into huge long threads on my videos about subjects that aren't on the video. That is just absolute bullshit. So yeah, fuck you, commenters. You have no class, you have no character, and you absolutely suck at making something called a rational argument. So anyway, this guy I imagine does also. So the lovely Carrie McCarpet, I haven't spoke to her in a long time. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, she mentioned this guy, and you know, she did that thing where, you know, she's very whatever. I mean, it sounds a little insincere to me, but that's just me. You know, like, okay, well, he makes super videos and he has a super personality, but yes, he's a complete fucktarded idiot. I just don't see any point in playing these games. But anyway, it sounds a little political, I guess that's all I'm saying. The guy's a douchebag, okay? And the older he gets, the uglier he gets. He's losing his cuteness factor fast. And it just seems really quite desperate. I mean, bloody period. You know, it's all... It looks like he's putting on a show, and that's about it. And she said something about him being sincere, which... Sincere? Look at his icons. Where is it? Sincere? Oh, exploitinist extremo. But anyway, so we'll play some of this just for the fun of it. I haven't watched it. I think there's a commercial there. There's a little yellow line.
Face Palm Sunday.
Yeah, whatever.
And today we're featuring Freely, also known as the Banana Girl. Probably one of the biggest vegan YouTube channels out there on YouTube.
Yeah, Vitacost, vitamins. Very good.
Before we begin, I want to make it abundantly clear that if you are a vegetarian, awesome. If you are a vegan, awesome. This video is addressing a specific type.
Oh, I hate this jump cut shit. Yes, okay. Why don't you talk really, really, really slow instead of just really, really slow?
Of vegan. Those small minority of vegans who have a stick so far up their...
Right. The small minority of vegans who actually have principles and aren't doing it for the show. They actually recognize that sentient creatures being tortured is a bad thing because they understand what brains are. And they understand that brains create sensations and that sensations are sometimes quite horrific. And that if you're imposing horrific sensations on something, you need to account for it. And nobody seems to think they do. And that's the big joke here. And it's a big insult to science and biology, because somehow these people, like Christians, don't think that that's where they came from, that that's where they were. And if it wasn't for a little bit of education that they got in high school and grammar school and all that shit, they would be dumb animals with ticks on their butt and all this other crap. And they would be suffering just the same. Being smart doesn't give you feelings.
Ass that they think that they're a more moral of a person because they don't.
Well, gee, that's right. I'm more moral than a rapist. I'm more moral than a capitalist, and I'm more moral than a pedophile, and I can go right down the motherfucking list. And it's just a fact. I have better, smarter, more reasonable, sensible ethics. It's just a fucking fact. I'm causing less harm. Now, causing less harm. Now, shouldn't that be in the category of probably something that would be more moral? I think so, unless you're a Christian.
Eat meat. The type of vegan who is so self-righteous in their own...
Again, this whole self-righteous shit, no, they're not. They're pissed off is what they are, okay? If they have any character whatsoever, they find you people disgusting. You fucking mealy-mouthed, wimpy fucking show vegetarians, even if I don't even know what you are, but, you know, you're just so full of shit. Okay, you think it's okay. Okay, you think it's okay to torture an animal. You seem to think there's a difference between a puppy and a piglet. Because you're retarded. Because you're motherfucking stupid.
Disillusioned mind that they think that they have the right to tell you, a meat eater, that you don't deserve to live.
Yeah, well, exactly why do they deserve any consideration? If they don't give consideration, if they don't give compassion, why should they get it? Why shouldn't some alien species who says, I can do double calculus and I can play triple level chess, so I'm smarter than you, therefore I'm going to pull all your hair out one at a time and, I don't know, slit your flesh up, so, you know, and throw you in some marinade while you're still alive because I wanted to get through your bloodstream, and then I'm going to barbecue you alive. There, how's that? Why wouldn't we deserve it? We couldn't do any better for the animals we tortured. Fuck, you're just so fucking stupid.
You, as a human being, do not have the choice to decide whether to be...
I mean, this is just idiotic. You don't have the choice. There's no such thing in the first place as choice. There's either you're persuaded by logic and reason, or you're persuaded by nepotism and your twitchy anus.
A vegetarian, or a vegan, or a meat eater. Rather, you don't have a motherfucking choice.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? I obviously chose not to be a meat eater. My brain made a decision. Okay, yeah, I don't believe I made a choice in the sense that, yes, the logic compelled me. All right, I was stuck being a rational, logical, principled, non-hypocrite, non-duplicitous cunt. And when I looked at this, the corpse on the table, I finally, you know, lots of times I said, okay, yeah, it's a corpse, but yummy, yummy. And then eventually I wore down and I said, you know, you suck. And you really got to stop doing that. You be bad. It wasn't that hard to do. You suck still. Double suck.
You either conform or, well, you die. Yep.
Well, I don't even know what that means. You either conform or you die. Yeah, well, that's the rules we have for a lot of things. Like if you have a psychotic urge to molest children and then kill them, that's right. You either conform to the fact that we don't allow people to do that, or you die. Okay, so go ahead and do it, and we'll kill you. So yeah, we have standards about some things, don't we? You can drink and drive, right? But if you kill somebody, we're going to kill you, right? Right.
Yes, I know, it sounds a bit over the top. You probably think that I'm exaggerating, that I'm being overdramatic. No, no, no.
You're being retarded, because the simple truth is, again, why? Why are you saying you deserve? How, if deserve had something to do with it, why would you deserve the considerations you're not willing to give other sentient creatures? Why should you deserve any of that respect? Why should you deserve any of that kind of treatment? Why is your life fucking important? Because God says so? There's nothing in the evolutionary history that says your life is somehow important. Evolution kills things all the time. The natural process wipes things out all the time, without deserve having anything to do with it. She's merely suggesting, hey, it'd be really cool if deserve had something to do with it, because then you'd get fucking cancer, suffer, and die, because that's what you fucking deserve.
And no.
Hey, Fruitbat, so I just woke up and I was thinking about something in bed, which I think about quite often, and that's where the people who continue to eat meat and dairy, even though they know the impact of their diet choices on the planet, on the animals, they've watched Earthlings, they know the facts, they've been educated, but they choose to continue eating animal products.
Right. Yeah. Well, fuck the planet. I mean, again, this is really not much of an argument from my perspective. But, yes, it's torture. Torture's torture. Fact. Really easy not to torture. So, yeah. There's just no excuse for it, okay? I mean, it's not even, you can't even call it a reckless homicide or a negligent homicide, a negligent torture. No, it's not even negligent torture. It's maliciously ignorant. These people are deliberately ignoring it. Like I said, because it is everywhere now. The truth is there. Like when I was a kid, they didn't do that shit. You didn't see this vegan crap all over the place. You didn't see these arguments. You didn't see the slaughterhouses. You didn't see all that shit. So you could remain a little bit deluded. But there's no excuse to be deluded anymore.
Whether they actually deserve to continue living.
Already I feel very sorry for you. Not at the fact that you don't get the privilege of eating meat, but at the fact that you wake up every morning thinking specifically about how other people somehow affect you personally.
Wow, that's all it's about, right? So you've never contemplated, you've never had any nightmares about wars, or you've never been terrified or worried about some circumstance that could lead to great harm in some other part of the world, or you maybe like when the tsunami happened, it was like pretty amazing imagery and it didn't stick with you for maybe a few weeks when you're watching people getting interviewed about how their kids got washed right out of their fucking hands. You didn't wake up maybe saying, geez, I'm awful goddamn lucky, at least saying that. No, because you suck.
How someone else's choices affects you.
Again, she's not talking about it affecting her, is it? I mean, you really can't understand somebody saying, I understand there's a Holocaust taking place. I understand there's harm taking place. And I'm revolted by it. I'm disgusted by it. I'm ashamed to be goddamn human by it. That's how it's affecting her. She's ashamed to be a human being. You are shaming us with your disgusting and grotesque, obnoxious ignorance. You're making us look stupid. You're verifying the fact that you are, in fact, idiocracy all over the place. You really do have a little bit of that Down syndrome thing in the eyes, don't you? Retard blood, maybe.
Their choices offends you. How you think that their lack of education or their stupidity for eating meat somehow affects you.
Again, so you're what? So why are you whining on the internet about issues? Have you ever been raped? I mean, why are you whining about issues that don't affect you? Right? I could find, I mean, period blood. I don't know exactly. Well, I guess that affects you secondhand, maybe. Or I don't think you're gay anyway, so maybe it doesn't affect you in any way whatsoever. I'm sure I could find lots of videos how none of this shit affects you at all. So why are you ragging? Whiner.
Question is, why can't you just let people be who they are, eat what they want to eat?
Because the victims are bloody and suffering, and that's why. Because she's not an unprincipled, selfish cunt like you.
Why does it concern you so much that you live each day of your life waking up thinking about the people who do eat meat and how terrible they are.
Yeah, so, I mean, when I was a kid, the Vietnam War was on TV. And I didn't just think about, ooh, I hope I don't get drafted. No, I saw those guys and I'm saying, holy shit, this is horrible. I sure wouldn't want that happen to me. So it wasn't happening to me, but it did concern me because I was rational.
And that might be like so extreme sounding to you, so dramatic, but I've got to break it to you. We live in an extreme, dramatic world.
Yeah, we live in a shithole, a fucking goddamn cesspool of a replicating DNA molecule that's created a bunch of egomaniacal goddamn drama whore bullshit. Yeah, we're living for absolute motherfucking bullshit, and we're torturing little kids to do it. It's disgusting. Yes, the whole thing needs a fly swatter.
There's a lot of fucked up shit going on. There's a lot of negative shit going on. And am I being too extreme? And yes, it does include family members of mine who actually continue eating meat and dairy, and I love them very much. But we are in this situation where drastic change needs to happen, and people...
Yeah, I know. Well, this whole, people all bragging about this family member thing is just so funny, right? I mean, somehow nepotism, I mean, this emotional response we have is about the most illegitimate bigotry we possess. I mean, family really doesn't have to earn it, which is disgusting in a way. So, yeah, why should we have double standards? Yeah, that's bullshit.
Aren't taking it fucking serious enough. And if their position on the planet was threatened because of their dietary choices, they would change to vegan in a heartbeat.
While we do live in a dramatic, extreme world, it does not call for people to have and call out drastic measures.
Drastic measures to say something like, you don't deserve something. Yeah, that's a drastic measure. I voiced my opinion. I don't think you're worth it. I don't. I don't think you're worth one suffering little piglet. I don't think there's a motherfucking thing about you that's worth torturing one little piglet for. I don't think so. That's my fucking opinion. I think it's a cost-ineffective equation. I think we're big losers by letting that kind of bullshit continue.
Human elimination because they don't involve your specific life choices or your
specific life choices. Yes, you mean ethical issues. Gee, I don't know. You're going to turn every ethical issue into a life choice. So, yeah, forcing growing women up to be subservient to men and to wear their burqa and to like it, that's not ethics. That's personal choicery. Fuck you. You're exploiting slaves, okay? That's all they are. They're slaves. It's an ethical issue, retard.
Specific lifestyle. To me, you sound no different than the people who go on the streets and say all gay people are going to hell. That all...
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly the same, right? The logical argument that sentient creatures feel is the same as Jesus says. You sound like a fucking fart. A stinky, smelly, little fart.
All gays deserve to die. While, of course, not all religious people believe that, there are...
Doesn't really matter, right? If they're going to believe in the damn book and say it's the word of God, then I guess they should take it a little bit seriously and get their rocks out and start throwing them. But, I mean, what's the fucking goddamn point? It's totally irrelevant. You really think it's just a dogma written in a stupid book, and that's why she's saying it. She didn't do some logic and figure out, gee, I wouldn't want to be tortured, so maybe I shouldn't fucking advocate for torturing other sentient creatures. You really think that's a God-given dogma? Or that you have to eat like some sort of magic asparagus to figure it out? It's not something like a rational deduction. God, you really are a sucky little piece of shit.
For the few extremists out there who really believe that gays don't have the right to life.
Yeah, change the fucking subject, why don't you? That's exactly, yeah, a straw man like preposteroso. You know what a straw man is? You got an icon for straw man? Because that's what this is called, douchebag. It's called a straw man argument. Ugh. Fucking...
My question to you is, are you God?
Gee, you have to be God to have to be able to form an opinion about whether somebody's doing something harmful. So when people make judgments about drinking and driving, they're playing God. Is that what they're doing? Or when I, as a non-rapist, say other men aren't allowed to rape, it doesn't affect me. I mean, obviously. That's just me playing God.
Are you playing the place of God? Deciding who lives, who dies?
No, her statement is, do they really have any right to claim rights when they don't give rights? When you're not willing to give rights, why should you have a right to claim them? It's that fucking simple, retard.
Conform to my ideology?
Well, again, conform to an ideology that's logic-based, and she's logically made the argument. It's destroying the planet, and it's torture. Gee, why should I put that on the okay list? Destroy the planet, commit torture. Let's put that in the okay category. No, it's not okay, shit.
Or you will be cast out among the sinners. I eat meat because deep down it's more of a primal instinct that I have. And
primal, yeah, the very word primal. I mean, that should give you, like, primate. That should give you, like, some kind of clue. You know? But no, it doesn't, right? Because facts and evolution and metabolism and biological mechanisms, those things don't mean anything to you. You can only digest meat after you cook it, retard. I mean, do you really think cooking is a primal thing? Do you think Tyrannosauruses cooked up their whatever, Bronchiosauruses, before they ate them? You know, barbecued them and then put, you know, a little sauce and blah, 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 blah. Had a glass of wine. You think that was happening, asshole? Huh? Special sauce? Do you think it was special sauce on their bronchio burgers? God, you're such a fucking douche brain.
if you look at how overweight people in America are, do you really think that people actually have the dedication who are overweight?
Well, again, that's not the subject, is it? No, not the subject at all. The subject is, of all the fucking horrors that take place in the world, some of them you can prevent, and some of you can't. Now, if there's ones right there in front of you that are easy to prevent or stop, and you don't do it, then you're a double suck. Or triple.
To automatically just switch to a vegan diet and completely convert over to that type of diet?
You don't have to automatically do it. You can do it one day at a time, so to speak. One day of the week. One meal at a time. But it's really not that hard to do. Really, really.
Dietary choices. Right now in this video, you are living a delusion that everyone going vegan would just solve most of the world's problems.
That's not what she's saying at all. She's just saying, here's some harm that you can prevent. And if you don't prevent the harm you can prevent, alright, you really, really, really do suck.
When in practicality, that's not even a possibility of ever happening, because I don't even believe...
Well, I don't, you know, obviously around the world it's a possibility being realized by literally billions of people, so I guess you're full of shit.
Out of the millions and millions and billions of people who live in this entire population of world Earth, I don't believe that we have the proper resources to even provide for the millions and billions of people who live in the world. And I'll be the first...
I don't even know what that means, but yeah, well, if you're getting, like, look, the real numbers could be 50 times as much calories, but even if you were getting 4 times as much or 10 times as much, okay, by eating the real stuff instead of feeding it to the animals, yeah, I mean, right there's a pretty good equation. You can take a hell of a lot of stress off of the biosphere if you cut at the brake and quit producing the methane bomb.
To admit this, as someone who eats very regularly healthy, who buys protein drinks, who even some to an extent buys my...
Yeah, I don't know. Protein drinks, I don't know if that's healthy, fucker. So maybe you think you're eating healthy, but I'm betting you're eating pop culture healthy, which will probably get you, you know, that's probably something the medical industrial complex invented. Like those whole 5 food group thing and everything. It's all a crock of shit. But we'll see how it turns out for you. We'll see.
My own vegan products. I still eat meat, but I eat very, very healthy. I can tell you from first
I eat meat, but I eat healthy. I mean, it's just like, that's called a contradiction, retard.
hand experience, the amount of money that I pay to buy healthy vegan food.
It doesn't matter, really. All this shit's about your goddamn fucking genetics anyway, so who cares about this? The health is not the subject of the video. Look, if fucking goddamn being vegan meant it was going to kill you 10 years younger, I'd still say you're obligated. It's just a fact. You're obligated. Decency requires it. You can't play the game fair this way. You're a fucking exploitinist, torturing slave owner. You're exploiting sentient creatures for your own gain. It's disgusting. You're disgusting.
Is absolutely insane in terms of how much money it costs. In fact, I find myself...
Well, whatever. Go price a 30-pound bag of rice, retard.
Buying more fatty foods and beef and chicken simply because as I'm completely providing my own income, I can't even afford to buy all these vegan type...
Well, whatever. Again, I mean, that's just such a silly argument, you know? I mean, really, potatoes, pasta, and rice. I basically live on. That's the substance of my calories. But even if I ate bread, right, it's still pretty cheap. And your body metabolizes every single one of those calories. So when it says 250 calories, you're going to get 248 calories out of it. And when you eat one of those McDonald's fatty burgers, you know, they might say that it has 1,200 calories in it. Well, guess what? You're only going to metabolize 400 of those calories. And the rest you're just going to shit down the toilet and create a mess in the environment. You're not going to use that shit. Your body doesn't eat that shit. Why don't you do some research on how intestines work? But they really don't metabolize protein.
Products to begin with. Plus, even if I could afford a completely transformation over to the vegan diet, I wouldn't do it because I like chocolate milk.
Yeah, okay, you like something, therefore you will torture something. That just means you deserve to live even less because you're fucking malicious. You're a glib, insensitive, cruel bastard. I will torture you for a glass of chocolate fucking milk. You will cause torture in a sentient brain to get your glass of chocolate milk. I think if there was truly some sort of, you know, whatever that stupid British TV show was about going into space and shit, you know, if there actually was a guide to the universe, yeah, I mean, this would be one of the, like, bottom line rules. If you're causing harm for a glass of chocolate milk, you should get nuked.
I just do.
In the ass.
And there's no way in hell that I'm giving that up. Giving up eggs,
Yeah, I'm not giving up any. That's right. So I'm going to torture, torture, torture. I'm not giving up my slaves. I mean, you're just sounding just like a slave owner, right? How do I make a factual distinction? You're not giving up your privilege. You're not giving up your free ride on something else's at something else's expense. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you said, I can't do it. I understand the argument, though. I suck. Now that would be the reasonable thing to do, is just to admit you suck. Just say I'm a selfish cunt. And say maybe someday I'll have the courage to face it, but I can't face it now because I'm too weak. My life is too empty and useless, and my penis is too small. So the only pleasure I get is eating some other poor animal's fucking flesh. Why don't you just admit it? You have no life, so you're totally dependent on your oral gratification through chomping on the flesh of another sentient organism. You're pitiful. Why don't you just admit you're pitiful and quit being an asshole?
Up meat just because your attempt to persuade, or I should say force, your ideology upon me.
Yeah, it's, you know, whatever you want to, again, it's like, well, the slave owners complaining, or you could say in the French Revolution, the aristos are complaining because, yeah, it's payday. It's payback. It's blowback. You're going to get what you deserve. Yeah, and you're going to whine about it? And that's all you're doing. You're whining. You're not making a counter argument about why it's ethically okay for you to torture things. What's your explanation? That's religion. It's religion to think sentient creatures shouldn't be tortured by selfish humans. Well, then why don't you just say it's okay? Should we have dog fights again? We outlawed that. We played God and said you can't have dog fights anymore for fun and entertainment. You think we should undo that law? Bring back bullfighting? That'd be okay with you too? You suck.
Is going to make any difference. If you want change, your best bet is to educate people on the facts, not threaten them with you don't deserve to live.
That's one of the facts. I mean, you can't figure that out. The factual consequence of being a scumbag is, yeah, you lose your rights. You don't give rights, you shouldn't have rights. That's a fact. You can consider that a logical statement. You should get what you deserve. There. Do I have to say any more? And how is it that you don't deserve no rights when you will not give rights? If you're not going to respect something else's right not to be tortured, why should you have your life respected? Why? Answer the question. Oh, that's right. You'll just say animals, God says animals are useless to be used by us, therefore that's what they're supposed to be. God said so. But you're not going to be able to say science says animals don't feel, because that's not goddamn true.
Live unless you conform to my ideology.
That's the truth of the matter. Because it's so fucking easy to be vegan as well.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I didn't even watch her video, but yeah, that's, I mean, it's just too fucking easy. It really isn't that hard to do. There's so many yummy little foods to eat.
And people kind of just treat it like, you know, it's just like a casual thing. Like anyone can, you know, you can make your choice, I make mine, just mind your own business. You know, I'm sure you've had that sort of like comment as a vegan. Oh, I'm really like happy for you that you choose vegan. Good on you. That's fantastic. But no, I can never do it. It's like, you shouldn't have the choice. You should be forced to be vegan.
You should be forced into veganism. Quite frankly.
Yes, Tyrannosauruses, if they roam the earth still, I'd say they should be forced. Everything should be forced eventually, that's right. And some of the force could be in the form of, you just don't raise kids to be dependent addicts, okay, on cooked flesh. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Human beings are born into cultures where meat eating is a rare event, and they do just fine. They in fact live longer than you do.
This entire persuasion that you're trying to do here does a lot more harm than good for your...
You say so. Well, yeah, the meat eaters are going to tell us how to make our argument. Yeah, that's really funny. You're hilarious. Stupid.
Image as a vegan, and it makes people like myself, who actually have considered and even tried the vegan diet, want to completely stay away from it because of the...
Well, I guess that's another piece of evidence that you're not very philosophically advanced, are you? I mean, like you're still an immature little weasel.
Extremist, insane psychopaths like yourself, who honestly believe that they have the ability to say who lives and who dies if you don't conform to my ideals.
Again, she's saying that this is the way it should be. You should get what you deserve. And if you will not give rights, you should not have them. Yes. True. Factual.
This kind of reminds me of the early 1900s. Stalin, Hitler.
There we go again. There it is again. Right, and you remind me of slave owners. There you go.
You have no choice in the matter. You will be slaughtered. You have no...
Yes, again, the slave owners should have been placated for more decades or centuries. We should have piled on the toll of horrific cultural and human suffering, cultural destruction and human suffering, bigger and bigger. Make a bigger pile of shit out of that shit.
Rights, you have no value, and you definitely have no choice.
You should ask.
Oh, I mean, again, I don't even know how you can keep saying this. There's no capacity to change. Now, whether you want to call that a choice or not is idiotic, but the fact is the capacity to change has been something that most vegans haven't, well, most vegans talking about veganism or vegetarianism have experienced. They transitioned. So they did it. See, to say people can't transition is idiotic.
Absolutely be forced to be vegan. The situation the planet is in, we cannot wait for you to fucking get your shit together. We cannot wait.
It doesn't matter, actually. It really doesn't. I mean, even even veganism and even vegetarianism will not save the planet. All it is an acknowledgement of the horror. You're just acknowledging that this is not right, it's not good enough, and I'm not going to placate it or participate in it. But you're not going to save the planet. I mean, it's fucked. I mean, that boat has sailed.
The animals cannot wait.
Well, they're going to have to, because they're going to have to wait for you people to start having the argument that nature sucks and nature should be murdered. Okay, I mean, nature needs to be killed. That's the real argument. Okay, yes, the meat eaters deserve to get what they have earned, but so does nature. And all that nature's earned is a fucking off switch. Nature's retarded, and its license to torture should be taken away.
Yeah, so as you can see, I'm really passionate about this. And do I want to kill people? No, I don't want to kill people. And yes, I was in that situation.
I sort of do. I mean, I have to admit it that I kind of, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I do want to. I mean, I would like to have the right to do it. I mean, I want the official, if there's going to be somebody who's going to be the official executioner or something, or the official cop that's going to impose the penalty, yeah, I kind of want to do it. I mean, it pleases me. The whole idea of fairness really pleases me. And so even though I know, okay, there's no free will and they couldn't help being assholes and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just too stupid. I mean, if it was like they were getting complex math problems wrong, like 37 plus 28, and they got that wrong, yeah, okay. You can find an excuse for that. But to get 2 plus 2 wrong, and then walk around saying I'm entitled to my opinion when you can't add 2 plus fucking goddamn 2, you can't figure out that suffering sucks. Yeah, no, I just can't write that off to they couldn't help it. There's no free will. Oh, fuck that. They heard me just say it now, right? So they could at least just concede suffering sucks, and that if I am actually causing suffering, then I suck. Now, if they can't do that much, yeah, I'm not going to have a problem. Yeah, no, I'll impose the sentence. You can pass the judgment, and I'll impose the sentence.
Before, where I didn't know about the meat and dairy industry. No, I didn't have a fucking clue. But I educated myself. So there's people who have.
Yeah, well, I didn't even educate myself in the sense that you really can't do that yourself. So, but yeah, it just fell on you. Once it falls on you, you're like, oh shit, I suck. And then you say, well, I'm too cool to suck. See, she knew it too. She said, I'm too cool to suck, so I'm not going to suck. Yeah, that's what I did.
Educated themselves, but I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like doing it right now. I don't feel like doing it. I knew a vegan once, and they were, a little bit weak, and they couldn't do this and that, and, just some, I knew a vegan once who had a child, and the child had deficiencies or some shit, just looking for excuses.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and stupid ones too, just because, like I said, yeah, we already, the evidence is already in, and there's people who aren't necessarily, vegan or vegetarian, but they eat very, very little meat. In those cultures, we see that they have, you know, better physical health. I mean, less obesity, and they live longer. So, I mean, come on, it's all win. But that's really not the subject. The subject is 2 plus 2. Suffering sucks, and if you're causing it, you suck. There, we're done.
Excuses? No, you should not have that option. You just gotta step the fuck up, or you really don't deserve to live on this planet.
Yeah, you don't deserve the privileges of civilization, the rights that you gain access to, the benefits, if you're going to accept exploitation and torture as a way of extracting those goodies from the universe. So if exploitation and torture is on your list of missions, you know, as you voyage, boldly go where no man has gone before. If your mission is let's go exploit shit and torture it, then yes, somebody should photon torpedo your fucking goddamn enterprise.
The biggest problem with your argument that I find is that if we actually go down your line of reasoning, your line of logic, we would also have to apply this not only to humans, because they eat meat they don't deserve to live on this planet, but equally so, alligators, foxes...
Yeah, well again, it's an argument being made to other thinking things that can understand vocabulary. She's making the argument to them to understand that, oh, suffering sucks, I cause suffering, I suck. There, done. Now, a crocodile can't do the math, but do you really think that all the crocodiles, if they went to like grammar school and then high school, that none of the crocodiles would say, gee, I hate my body. God, this sucks. I don't even have testicles, god damn it. You know, I hate this. I hate this whole fucking reptile teeth thing. Yeah, I don't want to die. This sucks. I hate my body. I'm I'm a ladybug inside a crocodile skin. I don't want to be a torturing motherfucking cunt. You don't think they'd do that? I think they'd do that. I think they'd be able to figure out that they're bullying and torturing. It's not nice.
As carnivorous animals, anything that eats another animal would also have to not have the right to live on...
Again, a right. Where does this right come from, okay? There's no such thing as this right beyond the fact that you earn it through civilization, and then civilization acknowledges it. There is no right outside of that conversation about what is right and what is wrong. You don't understand that there is no right without the wrong. Right is the correction of wrong. Right is the opposite of the wrong. Get it? So you identify the wrong and you right it. Get it? Suffering sucks. Me no suffer. Me no torture. Me no suck.
This planet, because they too eat meat. As I've watched some of your...
Right. Nature sucks, so therefore you should suck. Oh, that's really brilliant. Another fallacy, right? Appealing to nature, that's a fallacy, idiot.
Previous videos, just to get myself familiar with your content, is that recently you took a trip. In that trip, you were in a plane. In that plane, they have a gigantic propeller slash thingy, I don't know what they're called, the things that make the planes...
Turbine, yeah. Yeah, jet engine.
Fly. And the links are down below, but a big issue when flying big planes has always been animals actually being sucked into the propeller or the plane vents and causing them to have fire.
Yeah, again, that's right. Yeah, and those animals live, I mean, the dying process takes about, or happened already, which is good. But yeah, there's probably lots of ones injured and stuff, so, you know. But again, that's not the subject. The subject is this one's preventable. Those are sort of necessary parts of, you know, civilization. So there's some shit you'll put up with because it's the price of civilization. And some shit is completely unnecessary. There's nothing necessary about exploiting animals and eating them. There's nothing necessary about that activity. Completely unnecessary.
Some planes even crashing and having emergency landing. You are consciously making a choice to get on a plane, to which indirectly, using your same logic support.
This is another straw man. It's not the same logic at all. Again, one's preventable, one's not.
Supports the meat industry and the killing of an innocent animal because, well,
one's an unnecessary imposition and one is a semi-necessary position. I mean, I personally, you know, I mean, there's no other way to move from one place to another. You're more likely to kill something driving a car. You're probably doing more sentient harm driving a car or a train. I mean, trains have whole things right in the front of them for animal annihilation.
Plane's vent killed that birdie. So would you not equally be somehow contributing to eliminating
well, again,
the life of an innocent?
Yeah, you just don't get it. It isn't about killing. So these are two separate subjects. It's about torture. I mean, if she was going to be truly honest to the subject, she would say, you shouldn't just be killed, you should be tortured and then killed. You should get exactly what you give. You torture and kill things for no good reason. To argue that you should be tortured and killed for no good reason seems perfectly sensible. You advocate it, you should get it. That would be the way it should work. You get what you give.
Animal, you honestly have to think further down the line with your line of reasoning.
No, her line of reasoning's fine. Yours is fucktarded and idiotic. You're really fucking stupid. But everybody should have known that already. You're a cartoon character, for fuck's sake. Oh, they should never let Menudo grow up.
Because ultimately, it does not follow. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my facepalm video response. Her video is actually linked down below. It has a shit ton of dislikes. Even some of her avid vegan fans have made comments on her video saying why her mentality is completely wrong. And it is.
Yeah, well, whatever. There's lots of vegans who are vegan for no good reason except their own vanity. Okay, and so, yeah, they're not vegans for any principle or for any good reason. They're vegans because they're pro-human, you know, and humans are sacred and beautiful, and so that's the reason why they're vegan, is because they're cherishing their personal body. But it has nothing to do with any kind of ethical recognition of a suckiness that is intrinsic in causing harm and torture. So go ahead, keep justifying your torture and keep straw-manning the argument by pointing to irrelevancy. Way to go, Mr. Irrelevancy.
Do you want to convert someone over to religious ideology?
Again, so it's a religious ideology. So was it religion that convinced people that black people were human beings of equal substance and character? Was that religion? You're an idiot.
If you want to educate someone, don't do it by forcing them.
Well, whatever that even means. She didn't force anybody to do anything. She just made the argument. Think about it for a while. What do you think you deserve? Do you think you've earned your privilege? Do you think you've earned being spared? Do you think you've done anything of merit to justify the harm you've caused in your existence? Do you really think so? Do you really think you're worth it?
You don't do it by threats. You give them a...
Again, what threat was there? The threat was, I'm going to let you know what I really think. I think you're as bad as a slave owner. I think you have horrifically debased character. You're people of low and dismal character. And your threat to continue to torture for superficial indulgences is grotesque. And yeah, we probably should go to war.
Choice. Hey, these are the facts. You can either choose to believe them or not. Take a...
Well, yeah, well, again, one of the facts is you don't deserve what you're not willing to respect or give to others. That's just a fact.
Or leave it. Not conform, or you don't deserve to live.
Well,
welcome.
Again, you don't seem to understand the word deserve, right?
But take it or leave it. Not conform, or you don't deserve to live.
Yeah. Well, anyway, like I said, why should you get what you're not willing to give? So just answer the question. Not complicated. Not that you'll be doing that because, you know, you're a weasel and I'd say a prick, but you're just, you know, I don't think you have one of those. Anyway, so till the next time and such. Sorry about the length of these videos, but you know, it was terribly redundant, right? I mean, but that's sort of what you have to just keep saying, because every silly argument they make, you just keep saying, well, what? Tell me. Tell me how you deserve something else. Explain to me, why do you deserve something else? Why? How are you better than a drunk driver? I mean, you're compromising the welfare of other sentient creatures for a silly indulgence. I mean, how are you better than a drunk driver? We kill them when they kill. How? Well, I think we have. Well, technically, I don't know. There's been a few that have gotten the death penalty. I don't know whether they ever actually imposed it or not. But that's all you are, though. You're just a selfish cunt. That's it. An insincere, selfish cunt. Showboating weasel of a selfish cunt. Sorry, fuck. God. But yay to the banana girl for bringing the subject back home. Yeah. To the suck. Way to go. Bravo. Fuck all this health food shit. The point is, it's wrong to torture sentient brains. Period.